Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with the next update for my project Eyemageddon. This year I'm doing this project where I use my single eyeshadows and I have them all in here. It's a palette that looks like this. So I have a couple round shadows and then some clear eyeshadows here on the end. So my goal in this project is to use every single eyeshadow 10 times before I can roll it out and replace it with something new. So I will show you where I am with the palette today, which ones I hit my goal on and which ones are staying in. But before I jump into that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So let's start with the top corner right here. So this eyeshadow there is from Terra Moons, and this is in the shade Lightspeed. This eyeshadow is like a yellow base. Hopefully you can see it there. It's quite a bright yellow that goes into a blue and a pink shift. I don't know how well you can pick it up on camera, but it's a really pretty eyeshadow. And as of the last update, I had used this one 3 times, 2 times in the first month and then 1 time last month. But since then, I have actually used it 7 additional times. So I have hit my goal on it. I will be rolling this one out today. So I use this a lot as an inner corner highlight, but also all over my lid, and I liked it a lot. Yeah, it's definitely one that I will keep reaching for. And you know, it's not my most favorite eyeshadow in my collection, but I don't have too many shimmery yellows. And even though this one has like shifts to it, it's definitely still a yellow. So it's a fun eyeshadow to have in my collection. And again, I will be replacing it from this project. The next eyeshadow to that, we have this shadow here, which is another Terra Moon shade, and that is the shade Lyra. This one is a beautiful shadow. It's also slightly yellow tone, but it's more of a kind of beigey, kind of slightly yellow leaning color. This one has some beautiful shifts. I don't think the camera can pick it up, but it has like electric green to electric violet kind of shift with that kind of base, and it's such a stunning shadow. This one rolled in 2 months ago, and the first month I used this one 7 times. And I easily reached for this one 3 additional times. I reached for it again all over my lid, but also mostly as an inner corner highlight. And this is a stunning eyeshadow. I was so happy to reach for this one. I love this a lot. And I think it's a dupe of Divina Fairfire if you try that one, or if you've seen that swatches in that. But yeah, it's a beautiful eyeshadow and I'm so happy that I got to play with it. I just realized I had some of them in the wrong order. These two are switched around, so I'll switch them back up. But the next shadow right here is again from Terra Moons, and this is the shadow The Cosmos. This one rolled in last month, and it's a beautiful eyeshadow. This is a classic for a reason, but this is like a blue base. You can see that, like a sky blue base that shifts pink, and then also like turquoise and green and gold, and it's just such a dimensional eyeshadow. I'm actually wearing this one all over my lids today. This is the shimmer shadow that I have on my eyes today. I don't know again if you can pick up any of the shifts, but this is a beautiful eyeshadow, and this is a cool classic, like I said, and I wanted to roll this into play around with it more, get more of a feeling of it, because I like this shadow, but I feel like I don't love this as much as other people do. So I wanted to play around with it to see how I could use this to fall in love with it. And I actually only used this one once. I used it today. I just been like panning a lot of eyeshadow, and I just forgotten about this palette. I have a few eyeshadows in here that I completely forgot about. So this one is one of them. And again, I reached for it today because I wanted to reach for it, but that is the only use. So this one will be staying in the project. Moving on to the second row, we have another Terra Moons. Actually, the next two are both from Terra Moons as well. This one is the shadow Red Giant, which is an iridescent shadow. It looks like this. It's also a classic. This one has been in for 2 months as well. In the first month, I used this one 6 times. And I'm happy to say that I reached for this one 4 additional times for a total of 10. There's another one that will be rolling out. And I use this one again, mainly on my inner corner, but also all over the lid. I do have a rule for my shadows in this project, especially if they're more iridescent shadows, that I want to reach for them both on my lid, but also as an inner corner. Like I can't just exclusively use them as an inner corner highlight, because that would be really easy and I could get them out really fast, but I want to use them at least like twice on my lid as well. And I have done with this, so this one will be rolling out. So, like I said, the next shadow is also from Terra Moons. This one is the shade Flare Star, which is more of a kind of chunky shadow, similar to the one I'm wearing today. It's more of a flaky shade, and this one looks like this. It's a beautiful like pink shadow with green and like pink to orange shifts. It's really stunning again, and it's been fun to reach for. And even though this is a bright eyeshadow, I have loved using this one kind of sheerly all across my lid, and it makes it quite wearable. At the last update, I had used this one 5 times. It had been in for 2 months at the time. I used it twice for the first month and then 3 times the second month. So I had 5 more uses to go, and I'm happy again to say that I reached for my goal on this one. So this one again will be replaced. Yeah, this one is a beautiful eyeshadow, and I'm really happy that I rolled it into this project because I feel like I fell in love with it in here, and I found new ways to use it, which is kind of the point of this project. So I will be replacing this one at the end. Then the next shadow we have is actually not from Terra Mousse. This one is from the Pastel Roses, and this shadow right here is the shade Prism, which looks like this. This one has been in for 3 months now, and I tried to get eyeshadows out within the 3 months they're in the project because I want to rotate through them. However, this is one that I have not quite reached my goal on yet. I'm actually quite far away from it. It's been, like I said, for 3 months. The first month I only used it once, same the second month, and this month I used it twice. So I have 4 uses on it out of 10, so that's not great. But it's a beautiful eyeshadow, and I do like using this one. I used to forget about it, to be honest. I like using this one with like a basic transition shade and then just all over the lid, like quite like sheared out. So that's kind of how I'll be using it. I will use it all over the lid, like full impact as well at some point. And I have used this quite a lot with the next shadow coming up as well. I pair them, I mean, not a lot, but I think maybe 2 out of 4 times I use it with the next shadow, and they pair really nicely together, so I might do that again. But yeah, this one is staying in for now. I could have vetoed it, but I do want to like stick it out because I do like the shadow, so again, it will be staying in. And then, like I said, the next shadow is from the matte row, so I always try to have 3 mattes in the palette. And this one right here is the one that I like pairing with the Prism shadow. And again, this one has been in for 3 months, but I have not yet hit my goal on this one either. This is the shadow Hopscotch from Makeup Geek. So this one I haven't reached for 6 times in the time it's been in the project. I reached for it once the first month, twice the second month, and 3 times this past month. So 6 uses, I have 1 more to go. And you know, if I did hit my goal, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 uses each month, which is quite funny, but this is one that I do also want to stay in. I am actually wearing this one today in my crease. I'm wearing it with a different purple too, like the kind of more warm tone purple in the far up crease is a different purple from the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. And this is like the purple that's more further down in my crease. But I like this a lot. It's just not the easiest shade to reach for every day, and it is also a bit more cool toned. So it's not really what I've been wearing with all the warm tones that I'm panning. But again, it's staying in, although it has already been in for 3 months. Next up for the mattes, we have another shadow from Terra Mousse, and this one is the shade Twilight, which is a pastel yellow. You can see it right there. It's very pale, but it's a beautiful kind of blending out shade, and it works well with other kind of like, you know, yellow tone looks or even just neutral tone looks. This one I have reached for 2 times in the past month for a total of 5, so it is staying in for another month. And so far it's been in for 2 months, so it's another one that I'm going to try to get out next month with a total of 5 uses remaining. So we'll see how I do with that, but again, it is staying in. Then last up for the mattes, we have an eyeshadow from Sydney Grace. This one is the shade Camel, which is a beautiful like kind of camel transition shade as the name would suggest. This eyeshadow I rolled in last month, so it's only been in for 1 month so far, and I have reached for this one 3 times, and I think it's one that I can probably roll out next month, even though it's only had 3 uses, because it's a very easy eyeshadow to reach for, and yeah, I don't think it's going to be any issues to reach for this one. So I'm not worried about that at all. Again, I think I could have had this one out already this month, but I did forget kind of about this palette. So yeah, I'm just gonna reach for it next month, and fingers crossed I can have that one out. Then last up we have these 3 Cleon eyeshadows right here. So these 3 are Empress, Vermilion, and Mural. And unfortunately, I haven't reached for any of those. I think I forgot about them because I've been doing my Cleon Eye swatches this month. So I took these 3 eyeshadows out from this palette and put them with the rest of my Cleon Eye collection. And because of that, I completely forgot to reach for them. So, you know, it's a bit unfortunate. Empress has been in for 2 months. It had 3 uses in total. Vermilion actually rolled in last month and I haven't used it yet. And Mural also has been in for 2 months and I reached for it 4 times in the first month to have 6 more uses to go. But those are also some that I'm going to focus on next month. I'm mainly going to focus on getting Empress and Mural out because they have been in for 3 months at the next update. So yeah, we'll see how I go with those. But for now, I haven't reached for those. So this is what my palette looks like now. So I have 4 empty spots and I actually forgot to check what I want to roll in. So I'm going to go and grab my palette and I'll figure out what 4 circle shadows that I want to roll into this project and I will be back. So the first eyeshadow that I'm rolling in is one from the Pastel Roses. I had a lot of Terra Mousse eyeshadow last month, so I want to switch it up a bit and roll in a few more kind of Pastel Roses. I mean, I'm doing half-half. I'm doing half Pastel Roses, half Terra Mousse. That's kind of what I'm focusing on at the moment. I don't know why. I mean, I have other brands too, but you know, that's kind of just what I'm feeling. I'm feeling those light, sparkly eyeshadows, so that's kind of why I'm rolling these in, I think. But the first eyeshadow that I'm rolling in is this one right here, which is the shade Nectarine. It's a beautiful kind of orangey based eyeshadow that shifts green and pink. And I'm going to swatch it out for you so you can see. It's quite a sheer eyeshadow, but it has a beautiful shift. I don't know how well you will be able to pick it up on camera, but yeah, hopefully you can see there at least the green shift, and it does go into like a really violet kind of, or like vibrant pinky kind of shift, like a pinky fuchsia kind of shift. It's beautiful, and I really want to play around with that eyeshadow, and I think it's also going to be fun for summer. So that is the first one I'm rolling in. Like I said, the second eyeshadow is also from the Pastel Roses, and this one is the shade Lime Twist, which looks like this. It has a green base that shifts kind of gold and aqua, I would say. It's again more of a sheer formula, but I think it's going to be fun to, I don't know, to play with. This one is definitely drier though, and it picks up a bit thicker, but the eyeshadow is still a bit on the thinner side. You can see it right there. So it looks quite gold, but then it does have that kind of green base. I don't know how well you'll be able to pick it up on camera. Yeah, it does have a green base, and then also goes into like an aqua blue, almost purple. It's really, really stunning, and I think again that would be fun to reach for now in summer. So those are the two first shadows, both from Pastel Roses. For the iridescent shadow that I'm rolling in, I'm going with another Terra Moon's eyeshadow. I have a lot of iridescence from there, so that's kind of why I'm going for this one. And this one is the shade Phoenix. It's a classic. It just looks white in the pan, so let me swatch it out for you. So there you have Phoenix. It's like a fiery kind of iridescent, and it has a slightly almost blue base, and then it goes to like a yellow gold to an orange. It's super stunning, and I want to play around with this one more, and again, it's a perfect one for summer. The last shadow that I'm rolling in is a little bit cooler toned. It's not super cool toned, but it's a bit cooler tone. You can see there it has like a mauve tone kind of base, like a plummy mauve base, and it shifts gold, blue, aqua, purple. It has a lot of shifts in it. It's the one right here, and this is from Terra Moons again, and it's the shade Terrestrial. Yeah, I really like that shadow, and I think it's going to give a bit more variety to the palette. So I'm excited to roll that one in. And that is the palette complete. So this is what my updated palette looks like. A lot of pops of color. I do have a few more that can be used more neutral. Obviously, like we have this neutral brown. This last shadow that I rolled in, I can definitely use more neutrally. Same with, you know, this one is colorful, but since it is much sheer, I can pair it with neutrals. Same with this one. I mean, this one is definitely more opaque, but it's more of a, it's a colorful shadow, but it can be more and more kind of neutral in my opinion. But I'm happy with this palette. I'm happy what it looks like and the shadows that I rolled in. So that is going to be my update for my Eyemageddon. For next month, I'm going to try to get out like the ones that I've been in for 3 or more months. And that is going to be Prism, Hopscotch, I think Twilight. Can't remember if that was been in for, I think so. I think that one has been in now for 2 months already. Then also Empress, like I said, and Mural. Those are going to be my focus, but whatever else I can roll out, that would be amazing. So again, that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And otherwise, I will catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.